Madam, please start.
Good morning, everyone, and good morning, dear students. Myself, Mrs. Sridevi Polu, Principal, TSMS Kudu, Vikarabad District, is here today to introduce you Mrs. Archana, PGT Chemistry from TSMS Nawapet, Vikarabad District. Today, Madam is here to explain you another topic from organic chemistry. It is haloarenes. Dear children, here I want to mention you one thing. In our previous sessions, you have learned about the haloalkanes, isn't it? And today, it's the haloarenes. See, what are arenes? Arenes are aromatic hydrocarbons, right? So when you replace the hydrogen atoms in these arenes with halogens, haloarenes are obtained. So, dear children, so let us invite Mrs. Archana, PGT Chemistry. Good morning, Archana ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
I would like to hand over the session to Archana ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, children. I'm C. Archana, PGT Chemistry, Nawapet. Today we are going to discuss one of the topic from organic chemistry, haloalkanes and haloarenes. So you already learned about haloalkanes. This topic already taught by Sridevi madam. I think so you are perfect with this haloalkanes. Now we are going to discuss about haloarenes. So in haloarenes, we are going to discuss about all these topics: classification of haloarenes, nomenclature, methods of preparation of haloarenes. So how we have to prepare the haloarenes means by electrophilic substitution reaction, Sandmeyer reaction, Gattermann reactions, that we have to discuss in detail with the reaction. Next, physical properties of haloarenes we have to discuss, chemical properties of haloarenes. Under chemical properties, we have to discuss nucleophilic substitution reaction, electrophilic substitution reactions, reactions with metals. So these are the one we have to discuss, and polyhalogen compounds. All these topics we have to cover under haloarenes. Let us see the children first before going to start the haloarenes. How haloalkanes are formed that we already learned. Can you tell children? Yes, it is easy to tell. So when replacement of hydrogen atom in a hydrocarbon, if it is a aliphatic compound by a halogen, then haloalkanes are formed. Is it right? So here same one, if the replacement of hydrogen atom in a hydrocarbon, if it is an aromatic one, replaced by the halogen, then haloarenes are formed. Clear children? Replacement of hydrogen in a hydrocarbon by a halogen, that results to obtain haloalkanes or haloarenes. So what is meant by aliphatic aromatic children? You already know in the lab we can easily identify with the flame test. If you are going to get a sooty flame, then we can confirm that it is a aromatic compound. If it is aliphatic means you are getting non-sooty flame. With the help of that test, we can easily identify whether it is an aliphatic compound or aromatic compound. And you already know that in haloalkanes, halogen attached to which hybridized carbon children? So it is going to be attached to sp3 hybridized carbon. In haloarenes, this halogen is attached to sp2 hybridized carbon. And all these compounds are having the wide applications in our day-to-day life as well as in industries. And these compounds are used as a solvent for many non-polar solvents, and also we are using as a starting material for the synthesis of many organic compounds children. So here we can use these as a paint remover, we can use it a general example. And also we know that one of the drug chloroquine, so where we are using this chloroquine for the treatment of malaria. So this is one of the example come under the haloarenes. So this is about the brief introduction for the haloalkanes and haloarenes. Let us start with the haloarenes. See children, just now we discussed what is meant by haloarenes. Haloarenes are obtained by, how it is obtained I told, replacement of hydrogen atom. So by a halogen, replacement of hydrogen atom by a halogen. So in an arene, then that is called as haloarenes. Now, how we have to name the haloarenes? So we have to name the haloarenes. See, these are named by adding the prefix in front of the name of the aromatic hydrocarbon. So which prefix we did in order to name the haloarenes? Means we have to use halo is a one of the prefix. So in order to name an aromatic hydrocarbon, in case if it is a disubstituted one, what is meant by disubstituted one? Means more than one halogen. That means two halogens if they are present on aromatic ring. So how we have to name it? Means first of all, we have to give the numbering to the substituents, that is 1, 2 or 1, 3, 1, 4. Like that we have to give the numbering on the benzene ring. That you already know children, how to give the numbering to the benzene ring. In your first year itself you learned. And if it is a common name, then we have to use the prefixes as ortho, meta and para positions respectively. First we will discuss here, so which position in an aromatic ring or benzene ring we are calling them as a ortho, para, meta. Very important children, that know, then only we can know the mechanisms clearly. See children, in this example, so this is an example for dihaloarene. Is it right? Dihalo means, so two halogens are present. Therefore, I given the numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many carbons are present in benzene? 6 carbons are present. For that, if we are given the numbering 1, 2, so positions they are there. And see, whenever if you write the common name, when here, see the second position, if it is there, second and the sixth positions, we are calling them as a ortho positions. So listen children, so second and sixth position, we are calling them as ortho positions. And next, when you come to the fourth one, see, this is a second example. In this second example also, so two halogens are present, but where is the another halogen present here? Fourth position. So this fourth position, we are calling them as a para. And next, come to this third one, where the substituent is present, halogen, third position. See, third and the fifth position in this aromatic ring, we are calling them as a meta positions. So whenever you are giving the name, then that means common names, then we have to use the words as ortho, para and meta positions. So this is about the introduction to the haloarenes. Next, we can discuss classification of haloarenes. So first one, based on the basis of number of halogen atoms. See, so they are classified into mono, di, tri and polyhalogen compounds. Based on what? Depending upon the number of halogens present in their structures. So if in this structure, see, this is one example. In this structure, if only one halogen is present, then we are calling them as a monohalogen. That means we are calling that one as a monohaloarene. Arene, that means this is the arene ring, which is present halogen. With only one substituent is there. Therefore, we use the word as monohaloarene. And next, come to the second one. How many halogens are present here? Two halogens are present. Therefore, this we are calling them as a di. So halogens are present. Therefore, dihaloarenes. We have to give the name as dihaloarenes. And third one, see how many number of substituents are present, halogens are present in this structure. There are 3 halogens are present. Therefore, we had to give the name as the trihaloarenes. So this classification is based on what? Depending upon number of halogen atoms present in their structure. Depending upon number of halogen atoms present in their structure, these haloarenes are classified into mono, di, tri, polyhalogen compounds. Clear, children? The next classification is based on hybridization of carbon to which the halogen is bonded. That means halogen atom is going to be bonded to which hybridized carbon. Depending on that also classification of haloarenes will be takes place. So first we can discuss the one compounds containing sp3CX bond. Compounds containing sp3CX bond. That means here the halogen atom is attached to which hybridized carbon, children? Here sp3 hybridized carbon atoms. Depending upon this, we are going to be classify haloarenes into two types: allylic halides, benzylic halides. So what are the allylic halides, benzylic halides? We will discuss one by one. So what is meant by allylic halides? So first of all, before going to discuss about allylic halides, so which position we are calling them as a allylic carbon, that we have to discuss. See, children, first I will discuss with the example. In this example, where the double bond is there, C double bond C. This is the one. C double bond C carbons are present. So to this C double bond C carbon, the next carbon position means this is the next carbon position that we are calling them as allylic carbon. Remember, children? So the next, that means the carbon which is present next to the C double bond C, that we are calling them as a allylic carbon. This is the allylic carbon. So which are called as allylic halides means the compounds in which halogen atom bonded to sp3 hybridized, that means C double bond 1, C carbon carbon double bond, that we are calling them as a allylic halides. Clear? So what is meant by allylic halides means here? So here the halogen atom bonded to sp3 hybridized carbon next to, so next to where? Carbon carbon double bond, that we are calling them as allylic halides. Simply remember, children, so allylic carbon, where it is going to be present means next to the C double bond C. Wherever C double bond C is there, the next carbon we are calling them as allylic carbon. To that allylic carbon, if halogen is attached, then we are calling them as allylic halides. So this is about allylic halides. Next one is benzylic halides. So what are benzylic halides? In this also, the halogen atom attached to sp3 hybridized carbon only, but it is next to aromatic ring. In allylic, this halogen attached to sp3 hybridized carbon next to carbon carbon double bond there. Here in benzylic halides, the compounds in which the halogen atom is attached or bonded to sp3 hybridized carbon atom next to what? Next to an aromatic ring. See, where the halogen atom is attached to this sp3 hybridized carbon. So children, you know what is the hybridization. sp3 means whenever all the single bonds are there, then we are taken as sp3. If it is a double bond, sp2. If it is a triple bond, we are going to be use that one as a sp hybridization. See here, in this example, the halogen is attached to sp3 hybridized carbon, and the next carbon, this carbon is next to what? This carbon is next to aromatic ring. This carbon is next to aromatic ring, that we are calling them as benzylic halides. So classification of haloarenes based on sp3CX bond. So there are halides, benzylic halides. Allylic halides means, so halogen is attached to sp3 hybridized carbon atom next to carbon carbon double bond, that we are calling them as allylic halides, children. Next, benzylic halides, simply, so halogen atom attached to sp3 hybridized carbon atom next to what? Next to aromatic ring. Here also see, this is the halogen, and where the sp3 carbon is present, see, this is the carbon which is going to be having the sp3 hybridization. So this carbon is next to where? So this carbon is next to aromatic ring. So therefore, these two are the examples for the benzylic halides. This is the one of the classification. Next, compounds classification is based on sp2cx bond, based on sp2cx bond. That means halogen attached to a carbon, which it should have the hybridization of what? sp2 hybridization. Based on this one, they are classified into, once again, two types: vinylic halides, aryl halides. Vinylic halides and aryl halides. So what are vinylic halides that we have to discuss? So halogen atom attached to a carbon, so which is having sp2 hybridized one of carbon-carbon double bond. So directly, so where the double bond is there, to that carbon only halogen attached, that we are calling them as vinylic halides. So allylic, what is the difference there? Here, after the next one, this position we are calling them as a allylic position. Here, so vinylic means here halogen atom attached to the sp2 hybridized carbon of carbon-carbon double bond is called vinylic halides. Is called vinylic halides. Next one is aryl halides. So what are aryl halides? The compounds in which the halogen atom attached to the carbon next to which one? Aromatic, sorry, it is directly attached to aromatic ring, that we are calling them as aryl halides. So here halogen atom attached to sp2 hybridized carbon of aromatic ring. sp2 hybridized carbon of aromatic ring. See here in this example where the halogen is present, this is the halogen. This halogen is attached to sp2 hybridized carbon. You know, in benzene all the carbons are sp2 hybridized. So to this, if it is halogen attached, then that type we are calling them as aryl halides. So this is about the classification of haloarenes. So there are, based on number of halogen atoms, we classified into mono, trihaloarenes, and hybridization of sp3cx bond, we classified them as the allylic and benzylic halides. Next, compounds are classified as vinylic halides and aryl halides. So this is about the classification of haloarenes. Next, we can move on to the one as so nomenclature. How we have to write the nomenclature. Children, you already know nomenclature means for every organic compound we can write the common name as well as we can write the IUPAC names. You already know how to write the IUPAC names in your first year, according along with the rules, you know. Depending upon those rules only, we have to write the IUPAC names for the haloarenes. See children, I'm taken, this is one example. In this example, how many bromines are there? 2 bromines are there. So whenever more than one halogen is present, in order to give the name, what I told, you have to give the name
Madam, once again start sharing the screen.
Madam, 1 minute.
Hello. త్వరగా.
మనదేం తప్పలేదు, అక్కడ పోయిందేమో.
స్టార్ట్ అయింది, షేరింగ్ వస్తుంది.
ఏది
ముందు ఇంకా ముందుకి ఇక్కడ బ్యాక్
అంటే బ్యాక్ కదా.
Okay, madam. Archana, madam.
for the disturbance.
Okay, madam. Yeah, you can continue. Archana, ma'am, please on your mic.
Okay, children, once again, we can discuss the nomenclature here. Depending upon the position, we can tell the IUPAC names. So where the bromines are present, at the first and second carbon, bromines are present. Therefore, we are going to be give that one as 1,2 dibromobenzene. We are going to give the name as 1,2 dibromobenzene. So common name here is, you already know, whenever it is going to be present at this position, second and the sixth position, I told that this we are calling them as ortho position. Therefore, how we can write the common name here? Ortho dibromobenzene. Ortho dibromobenzene. And IUPAC name here is 1,2. How many substituents are there? 2. Therefore, dibromobenzene. And next, come to this example. So where they are present here, first position, second and third position. First and third position, the substituents are there. Therefore, we are calling that one as 1,3 dibromobenzene. 1,3 dibromobenzene. And here, the next example, so where they are present here, first position and the fourth position. Therefore, we have to give the name as 1,4 dibromobenzene. And common name, how we are writing? Para position it is there. Therefore, we have to give the name as para dibromobenzene. Para dibromobenzene. And see here, the next example, all these examples are for dihalobenzene. That means so 2 substituents are going to be present in this one. And here, see the one, when 1 chlorine is present at the first position, then we can give the name as chlorobenzene. We are going to give the name as chlorobenzene. Common name, phenyl chloride. So this we are calling them as a phenyl chloride. This is an example for monohaloarine. And next, come to this example where the one is there. See here, the first position and second position halogen is there. Therefore, we are giving the name as 2-chlorotoluene. Children, you already know that on the benzene ring, if methyl group is there, then that we are calling them as a toluene. The common name here is toluene. Therefore, we are giving the name as 2-chlorotoluene, or common name at which position this chlorine is there, means at position it is there. Therefore, we are calling that one as orthochlorotoluene. And the next one, if we come to this example, see here, so third position chlorine is there. Therefore, we are calling that one as 3-chlorotoluene. Or so common name, when you are coming to the common name, at which position chlorine is there? At meta position. Therefore, metachlorotoluene. Like this, we have to give the name to the haloarenes. See the general exam, monohalobenzenes. So when the chlorine is present, chlorobenzene. If it is bromine, bromobenzene. And if it is iodine present on the benzene ring, then we are calling that one as iodobenzene. And come to this example here, children. So how many 2 bromines are there? At which position? First and second position. Therefore, we are giving the name as 1,2 dibromobenzene. And this one, where the present are there chlorine? First position and third position. Therefore, 1,3 dichlorobenzene. So what is the common name? At which position is there? Meta position. And next, in this one, so where the chlorine are present, first position and fourth position, children. So therefore, we are calling them as 1,4 dichlorobenzene. If you want to write the common name, which position is there? Para position. So para dichlorobenzene. And see this example, children. So where just now I told, if on the benzene ring, methyl group is there, means we are calling them as toluene. So where the chlorine is present here, which position? See, 1, 2, 3. Third position is there. Therefore, 3-chlorotoluene. And next, phenyl bromomethane. This is example. Why? Because here bromine is attached to the phenyl one. Therefore, we see here when you are coming to this one, methane, why we are calling that one as, see here, bromine is present and next phenyl group is going to be present to this carbon. Therefore, we are calling that one as the phenyl bromomethane. Like this, we have to write the nomenclature for this one. And next, we can move on to the one as preparations. So how we have to prepare the haloarenes? Means these are prepared by electrophilic substitution reaction, Sandmeyer reactions, and Gattermann reactions. So with the help of these 3 methods, we can prepare haloarenes. The first one is by electrophilic substitution. Children, you already know substitution reactions means. So what is meant by substitution reactions? So when one of the atom substituted by another atom in a molecule, that we are calling them as a substitution reactions. So here this electrophilic substitution reaction with the help of substitution of electrophile. So this haloarenes are prepared. How they are prepared? See here, when you are coming to the one, aryl chlorides and bromides. So what we are preparing? Aryl chlorides or aryl bromides can be easily prepared. How we can prepare? With the help of electrophilic substitution of arenes with chlorine. Arenes with chlorine or bromine in presence of Lewis acid catalyst like iron or ferric chloride. Simply, we can say that arenes, this is one of the arene. See children, equation, this arene, when it is treated with the chlorine in presence of Lewis acid catalyst like iron or ferric chloride, it results to give which one? 1,2 dichlorobenzene. Next one more compound is there, 1,4 dichlorobenzene. There are the 2 products possibilities are there, children, here. So which is the major products? Means the para position generally will be the major product, and there is a releasing of hydrochloric acid, HCl, is also released. So with the help of this, we can prepare the aryl chlorides and aryl bromides. So that means with the help of electrophilic substitution reaction, we can prepare aryl chlorides and aryl bromides. How we prepare, children? See, once again, arenes, when react with chlorine or bromine in presence of Lewis acid catalyst like iron or iron ferric chloride, it forms 1,2 dichlorobenzene and 1,4 dichlorobenzene. So these are the aryl chlorides are going to be formed. Not only aryl chlorides, we can also prepare the aryl bromides also with the help of this electrophilic substitution reactions. So this is one of the preparation for the haloarenes. The next one is Sand-Meyer's reaction. Very important, children, here. Sand-Meyer's reaction means here when aniline is treated with sodium nitrite. When aniline, see children, when aniline is treated with sodium nitrate in presence of 273 to 278 Kelvin temperature, then there is a diazonium salt is going to be formed. So when aniline reacts with treated with sodium nitrate, it forms a diazonium salt. This is a diazonium salt. This is diazonium salt. This diazonium salt, once again, it is going to be treated with cuprous chloride or cuprous bromide. Cuprous chloride or cuprous bromide, it forms the aryl halides. See, so what is the final product we are getting here? Aryl halides. What is the final product? Aryl halides. See, the aniline, when once again, aniline, when reacts or treated with sodium nitrite, it forms the diazonium salt. This diazonium salt, once again treated with cuprous chloride or cuprous bromide, then you are getting the aryl halides, chlorobenzene or bromobenzene, and there is a removal of which one? Nitrogen gas is going to be released. So this is about Sand-Meyer reaction. So simply you can remember, aniline treated with sodium nitrite forms the diazonium salt. This diazonium salt again treated with the cuprous halides, that is, it may be cuprous chloride or cuprous bromide, then it forms aryl halides. So what is happening, children, in this? Here the diazonium one is replaced by the halogen. Diazonium is replaced by the halogen. That we are calling them as a Sand-Meyer reaction. Aniline is treated with sodium nitrite to give which one? Diazonium salt, which is then treated with which one? Cuprous chloride or cuprous bromide. Then it is going to be give corresponding aryl halides like chlorobenzene or bromobenzene. That we are calling them as Sand-Meyer reaction. Next, third one, Gattermann's reaction. What is meant by Gattermann reaction? Means here, in this, with the help of this reaction, we can introduce the chlorine or bromine in the benzene ring by treating water, diazonium salt with copper powder in presence of an halogen acid. Or see here, diazonium salt, simply it is going to be treated with the halogen acid in presence of copper powder. Remember, children, in the previous one, in Sand-Meyer's diazonium salt is going to be treated with cuprous chloride or cuprous bromide. In this, here, this diazonium salt is going to be treated with the halogen acid in presence of copper powder. Then it forms the aryl halides, and say there is a releasing of nitrogen gas. This reaction we are calling them as Gattermann's reaction. So once again, what is meant by Gattermann's reaction means chlorine or bromine introduced into the benzene ring. So how? When benzene diazonium salt is going to be treated with halogen acid in presence of water, in presence of copper powder. So it results to form aryl halide and releasing of nitrogen. This is called Gattermann's reaction. Children, very important, Sandmeyer reaction and Gattermann's reaction. There is a slight difference is there in Sandmeyer reaction as well as in Sandmeyer's. Diazonium salt is going to be treated with cuprous chloride or cuprous bromide, whereas in the case of the Gattermann's reaction, this is going to be treated with halogen acid in presence of what? Copper powder. That you have to remember. Very, very important one. These are the three preparation methods we are using for the preparation of haloarenes. So what are the three methods, children? First one is electrophilic substitution reaction. Next one is Sandmeyer's reaction. Third one is Gattermann's reaction. With the help of these three methods, we can prepare the haloarenes. Next one, we can discuss the physical properties of haloarenes. So here in this physical properties, we can discuss the melting points, boiling points, solubility, and here density. We can discuss under this one. See one by one. When we are considering the melting points and the boiling points, first of all, if you are taking the various compounds, boiling points of various mono benzene compounds, so which are our liquid monohaloids means, you know, only one halogen should be there. Chlorobenzene, bromobenzene, iodobenzene, like this, you are taking the different monohalogen compounds which are all liquid. So if you are taken, the boiling points order are iodobenzene greater than bromobenzene greater than chlorobenzene, iodobenzene greater than bromobenzene greater than chlorobenzene. So next, the boiling points of isomeric dihalobenzenes are nearly the same. If you consider the halogens, that means two halogens are present on the benzene ring. If you are considering the dihalobenzenes, see dihalobenzenes, isomers of dihalobenzenes are almost all having the same boiling points. So this is about the boiling points. Next, come to the melting points. Very important, children, here. The melting point of para isomer is generally higher than what? Ortho and meta isomers that we had to discuss. If we compare the boiling points, so they are almost all same that we learned in the case of the dihalogen isomers. Whereas if you come to the melting points, the para isomer is having the higher melting point than what? Ortho and meta isomers. Why? Para isomer is having the more melting point that we have to discuss. So the higher melting point of para isomer is due to its symmetry. Due to its symmetry, what is happening here? So due to this symmetry, it leads to the close packing of its molecules in the crystal lattice. What is happening? Close packing of molecules in the crystal lattice. You children, you already know, when close packing of molecules in the crystal lattice is going to be takes place, what happens? Strong intermolecular attractive forces will develop. Small intermolecular attractive forces are going to be developed. So when strong between the molecules, what happens? It requires the more amount of energy for melting. It requires the more amount of energy for melting. So that's why these para halogens are having the more melting points than what ortho and meta positions. Okay, children, see, so why the para isomer is having the more melting point means because of its symmetry. Due to its symmetry, what is happening? Close packing of the molecules in the crystal lattice. When close packing of molecules in the crystal lattice, so what is happening? Strong intermolecular attractive forces are going to be developed. So due to this strong intermolecular attractive forces, so it requires the more energy for melting. Therefore, para-halo addition. See, what is the order? Para-dihalobenzene greater than ortho-dichlorobenzenes greater than chlorobenzenes. What is the order? Para-dihalobenzene greater than ortho-dichlorobenzene greater than, so meta-dichlorobenzenes. So which is position is having the more melting point means para one. So this is about the melting points. Next, we can discuss the solubility, children. So what here soluble? Haloarenes are insoluble in water. So why they are insoluble in water means because they cannot form the hydrogen bonds with water, but they are soluble in water. They are soluble in organic solvents. So why they are insoluble in water means here they are insoluble in water because they are not able to form the hydrogen bonds. So what is meant by hydrogen bond, children? This already you know in your first year chemical bonding. Hydrogen bond means electrostatic attraction between the positively charged hydrogen atom and negatively charged more electronegative atoms like fluorine, oxygen, nitrogen, then it forms the hydrogen bond. But is there any one? No. Therefore, here it does not form the hydrogen bonds with the water. Therefore, they are going to be soluble in water. These haloarenes are soluble in organic solvents. Next, come to the density. Haloarenes are heavier than water. They are more heavier than water. So therefore, the densities are in the order iodobenzene greater than bromobenzene greater than chlorobenzene. So what is the order for this benzenes means? So iodobenzene greater than bromobenzene greater than chlorobenzene. So this is about physical properties of haloarenes. So we discussed the boiling points and the melting points, solubility and density of haloarenes. Next, we can discuss the chemical properties of haloarenes. So in this also we have to discuss the three. The first one here is nucleophilic substitution reaction. Second one, electrophilic substitution reaction. Third one, reaction with the metals. We will discuss one by one, children. So first one, nucleophilic substitution reactions in haloarenes. So how the nucleophilic substitution reactions are going to be takes place in haloarenes, that we have to discuss. If we compare the nucleophilic substitution reactions of haloalkanes with the haloarenes, these haloarenes undergo the nucleophilic substitution reactions far less reactive. They are less reactive than haloalkanes towards the nucleophilic substitution reaction. So remember, children, here, though they are undergoing the nucleophilic substitution reaction, but if we compare haloalkanes and haloarenes, they are far less reactive than the haloalkanes. Why? What is the reason? Means there are mainly the three reasons are there. That is due to the resonance effect and polarity of CX bond, and next one, hybridization of carbon. All these are the factors which are going to be responsible for the less reactive towards the nucleophilic substitution reactions. We will discuss the reasons. The first one is resonance effect. So due to this resonance effect in haloarenes, what is
Morning, ma'am. Hello.
Okay. హలో అర్చన ఏమైంది అర్చన అవునా
Prasanna madam, please stop sharing your screen.
Okay, ma'am.
Archana madam, please share your screen.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, children, we are discussing under the nucleophilic substitution reactions. So in these nucleophilic substitution reactions, why it is going to be have the less reactivity towards the haloalkanes, means haloalkanes are more reactive towards the nucleophilic substitution reactions, means the first reason is resonance effect we discussed here. So due to the resonance effect, what is happening here means this CH bond is going to be acquires the double bond character. See children here, the pair of electron which is going to be present on the halogen is going to be enters or delocalization of the pi bonds are going to be takes place. So due to this CX bond is going to be acquires some double bond character. If it is having the double bond character, it is going to be somewhat difficult to break it. So this is the first reason why it is less reactive towards the nucleophilic substitution reaction. Next one is hybridization of carbon. See, you already know this, we already discussed. In haloalkanes, the halogen atom is attached to the carbon, which is going to be having the sp3 hybridized one. Yes. In haloarenes, what happens? This halogen is going to be attached to sp2 hybridized carbon. sp2 hybridized carbon. So what happens? Means if it is sp2 hybridized orbital, you already know that it is going to be close to the nucleus. See children here, the sp2 hybridized orbital, which is going to be halogen attached in haloarenes, it is going to be closer to the nucleus. If it is closer to the nucleus, what happens? The bond length will be shorter and the bond will be stronger. So what is happening? The bond length will be shorter and hence stronger the bond. So therefore, the CX bond becomes shorter and stronger in haloarenes. So remember children, in haloarenes, what happens? There is a halogen attached to sp2 hybridized orbital. That sp2 hybridized orbital is close to the nucleus. When it is close to the nucleus, what is happening? It becomes shorter in length and next it will be the stronger one. So therefore, this CX bond in haloarenes, see the CX bond in haloarenes becomes shorter and stronger. Therefore, this is less reactive towards the nucleophilic substitution reaction. The third reason is polarity of CX bond. Polarity of CX bond. You already know an sp2 hybridized carbon is more electronegative than sp3 hybridized carbon. You know that sp2 is more electronegative than sp3 hybridized due to what? Why it is going to be more electronegative means due to the more S character in sp2 hybridized carbon. Thus, what happens in haloarenes? The CX bond is going to be less polar. CX bond is going to be less polar so that its reactivity is going to be decreases. So the reactivity of haloarenes decreases. So why? Because of the three reasons. Resonance effect, what is happening? Due to resonance effect, the CX bond is having the double bond character and it is difficult to break it. And second one is hybridization of carbon. So it is having the sp2 hybridized carbon, it becomes shorter and stronger. It will stronger. And the polarity, if you see haloarenes, so they are less polar, therefore it is going to be decrease its reactivity. So all these are reasons which the nucleophilic substitution reactions so becomes so here that means halogens, chlorine or bromine, which is going to be present on haloarenes, they can be substituted by another so they are undergoing the nucleophilic reactions in presence of suitable reagents. So here nucleophilic substitution of reactions are going to be takes place. See NaOH when it is going to be react at 350 degrees Celsius and 300 atmospheric pressure, what happens? So generation of nucleophile. What is the nucleophile here? OH minus is the nucleophile. That OH minus nucleophile is attached at this Cl position, then you are going to get the phenol plus sodium chloride. So this is the one of the nucleophilic substitution reaction. This reaction we are calling them as a Dawes process. This we are calling them as a Dawes process. Chlorobenzene reacts with sodium hydroxide. So at 350 degrees Celsius in presence of 300 atmospheric pressure, it gives phenol plus sodium chloride. It is known as Dawes process. It is undergoing which type of one? Nucleophilic substitution reaction. See the another example, chlorobenzene when reacts with ammonia at 250 degrees Celsius and 50 atmospheric pressure, then the another nucleophile. What is the nucleophile? So amine. So NH2 is the nucleophile attached at this chlorine. Then you are going to get the aniline plus ammonium chloride. Next one is chlorobenzene when react with copper cyanide at 250 degrees Celsius in presence of pyridine, you are going to get phenyl cyanide plus copper chloride. So these are the all are examples for the nucleophilic substitution reactions. In all these examples, so in place of halogen, the nucleophiles, these are the nucleophiles OH, NH2, Cn minus are going to be attached at the benzene ring. Therefore, all these are the examples for the nucleophilic substitution reactions. Next, if you are coming to the one here, when we are seeing the nucleophilic substitution reactions, whenever there is a NO2 group present on this chlorobenzene, what is happening? So listen children, if NO2 group is present at ortho positions or the para positions, then the reactivity of haloarenes is going to be increases. The reactivity of haloarenes is going to be increases. So why it is going to be increases means this NO2 group is electron withdrawing group. This is NO2 group is electron withdrawing group. Electron withdrawing group means it is going to be take the electrons from the benzene ring and so that it stabilizes the benzene ring. See this one. So first, when you observe this one where the nitrogen is going to be present, if it is going to be present at ortho position, see the negative charge where it is present, negative charge is present at ortho position. Therefore, this negative charge is going to be stabilized by what? It is going to be stabilized by the electron withdrawing group. And the next one, if it is in the para position, suppose if it is in the para position, this is also, that means what is happening? Stabilized by electron withdrawing group. Whether it is in ortho position, see nitrogen NO2 is present at ortho position here and it is going to be present at a para position. What is happening? It is going to be stabilize this delocalization of the benzene ring. And if you see the meta position, when nitrogen NO2 is going to be present at meta position, if it is present at meta position, is there any negative charge at meta position? See children, there is no negative charge at the meta position. That means what? When NO2 group is there at meta position, it does not affect the reactivity of haloarenes. Whenever it is going to be present at para position or at ortho positions, then only it is going to be increase the reactivity of haloarenes. We will see the previous one. See here, the nitrogen is present at the para position. This nitrogen, if it is at para position on the chlorobenzene, so in presence of sodium hydroxide at 443 Kelvin, so in acidic medium, it results to form the, so that means substitution of this OHL nucleophile is going to be takes place little bit easy. Why? Because the reactivity is going to be increases with the help of this NO2. And see here, with ortho position and para position, both positions are there. Therefore, the reactivity still it is going to be increases. If you compare this one, it takes the 443 Kelvin. See here, the temperature is required is less. Therefore, attacking of the nucleophile will be easy. So this is because of what? Due to the presence of electron withdrawing group at ortho and para position. See children, in this example, so NO2 group is present at ortho positions and 2 ortho positions and para position. 3 NO2 groups are there. When 3 NO2 groups are there means still the reactivity of haloarenes is going to be increases. Therefore, just if it warms in presence of water, only the attack of OH nucleophile takes place in place of the chlorine. So this is about the nucleophilic substitution reactions of haloarenes. Children, remember that whenever NO2 group is there at the ortho and para position, the reactivity of haloarenes increases. When the haloarenes reactivity increases, the nucleophilic substitution will be takes place fastly. So this is about the nucleophilic substitution reactions. And what we discussed in this class means classification of haloarenes, nomenclature, preparation of haloarenes by electrophilic substitution reaction, Sandmeyer reaction, Gattermann reaction, and physical properties of haloarenes discussed. Under the chemical properties, we only discussed about the nucleophilic substitution reaction. So very important, children, be thorough with the nucleophilic substitution reactions. And lastly, so practice these questions. So practice the structures, how to write the para-bromochlorobenzene, 2-bromo, 3-methyl benzene, and what are the physical properties. Mention any two preparations for the haloarenes. And here see, account for the following statements I given. So aryl halides are extremely less reactive towards nucleophilic substitution reactions. Just now I told. So why these aryl haloarenes are less reactive towards nucleophilic substitution reactions means three reasons: resonance effect, hybridization of carbon, and polarity of CX1. That you have to mention it. And next here see the para-nitrochlorobenzene and ortho, para-nitrochlorobenzene undergo nucleophilic substitution readily compared to chlorobenzene. Why? Because due to the presence of NO2 group at ortho para position, what is going to be happening? Stabilization of that takes place, so that the reactivity increases, haloarenes reactivity increases. So due to that, so what happens? Their nucleophilic substitution takes place fastly. So this is about the nucleophilic substitution reaction. Thank you, children.
Thank you, Archana madam. See, children, in spite of few technical problems, so the session was nice, and madam clearly explained you about the haloarenes. See, what are arenes? Arenes are nothing but the aromatic hydrocarbons, so which shows the aromatic properties. See, please go through our webinar sessions of chemistry. See the previous topic, that is alkyl halides, and the continuation of that today's topic, that is a haloarenes. So please watch these channels and write down the notes, children. So thank you, Archana ma'am. Thank you very much.